Okay, everybody, so this is my spoiler-free review of the new Netflix original movie, Red Notice. This is directed and written by Rawson Marshall Thurber, who directed Skyscraper, Central Intelligence, both films with The Rock, so this is a kind of familiar pairing, and he also did We're the Millers. This is the biggest Netflix film in terms of budget, and you have this superstar cast with these three leads of The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Gadot. Now, when I watched this film, I kept my expectations at medium here because the trailer wasn't that exciting to me. It seemed pretty formulaic, but it is exciting with this cast. And what's interesting about this film is it's actually really entertaining. I was never bored watching it, and that's a huge plus because most Netflix films recently are all just pretty bad. They're not doing great in that department. And that was a breath of fresh air that this wasn't a total letdown. Having said that, though, this is a very safe film. It doesn't move the needle at all in cinema and what you can expect from a spy crime thriller with a lot of comedy here. You've seen everything in this film before. But it has this amazing chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and The Rock. That's the best part of this film, is that it is very funny. I thought Ryan Reynolds here, if you're a fan of his type of humor, you're going to really enjoy the scenes with him. And I thought they were all really funny. Like, I didn't think it was a misfire on his part. I enjoyed it. I am a fan of his humor. So if you like The Rock, you like Ryan Reynolds, you're going to enjoy the film. There's no question about it. But the problem with this film is it's very plot-driven. The plot is interesting. It's a good plot. It's following a MacGuffin that they're chasing after. But the plot has a lot of interesting twists in it, and it keeps moving at a good pace. But there's no character attachment here, and it suffers from that classic sin of writing a script where you want the plot coming out of character, not the other way around. And what they try to do is write an interesting plot, but just sprinkle in little character stuff. Like, you're going to see some backstories a little bit about the characters. They just talk about it, about having bad fathers. But that's with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock's character. Now, the villain here is played by Gal Gadot. Her character's titled The Bishop, and she's a very paper-thin character. We don't really learn much about her motivations and intentions at all, which is really disappointing. And it's a miscast to me, but this is also a little bit of a bias because I'm not super impressed with Gal Gadot as an actress, and her playing now this villain who's supposed to have charisma, supposed to have some charm. I don't see it at all with her. I think she's just so bland in her performance here that it's not selling me at all anymore on Gal Gadot as an actress. I'm just not there. I just think it's really brings down this film a lot. I think you have such great chemistry between Reynolds and The Rock, and when her character comes in, it's just like, it just brings down everything, and it takes you out of it, because to me, it's such a poor performance. And I'm complimenting how great the humor is in that comedy aspect of this film, and that, again, is a tribute to Ryan Reynolds and The Rock's chemistry, and a lot of the improvising Ryan Reynolds is clearly doing here that works. But the action is very and there's some action sequences that look very fake here, so it's disappointing that it's this big budget film, but you still feel like you'll see the sequence that's through like the caves. It should be interesting, but it looks like a video game, so that's really disappointing. And what also is really ticks me off about, you'll see this in a lot of Netflix films, but really fake looking sets. You're going to see this particular scene where it's like a waterfall and then they go on this beach. It looks so fake, and you could tell it was filmed on a set where it looks like they're in front of a swimming pool, and there's this fake lighting where the problem with a lot of cinematography in Netflix films, in particular this one, is it's not, you can't look at it as natural lighting where you're like, okay, in the context of the scene, where is that light coming from? Where you could tell it's like, oh, that's a studio light on the side of his face, so that doesn't help with the fake looking plants around them. And it's like, if this is big budget, couldn't they not afford to do all these on location in a real jungle? So that's frustrating as well. There's a very, artificial feel to the film. And that just, again, goes to not great cinematography here, and a lot of not thoughtful framing or natural lighting. And I'm not saying natural, like you can use obviously artificial lights, but make it look like there's a justification of where the light is coming from the scene, not that it just makes it look like it's lit by film lights. And the weird thing about this film is it is a, crime thriller. It's got the spy feel to it, with very royalty-free-esque spy music, which is also disappointing. There's not much thought put into the score here. And there's also, with that, this jarring tonal shift in the third act that's very rushed and feels out of place, and it doesn't work to me. It comes with really fun twists. There's like a double twist here, which I like. And the problem is it's obsessed with setting up a franchise and setting up a sequel, which takes away from the story now. And that's why it will feel rushed, which you will see. Like, it's a classic thing that a lot of Hollywood movies are struggling with now, where they are so obsessed with setting up a sequel correctly that it takes away from just a great first film. And this film suffers from that. But as much as I'm saying that's bad about this film, a lot of it is good because at the end of the day, you just have these two great performances by The Rock and Ryan Reynolds. Never bored, which is huge. It's entertaining film. So I think people just looking for junk food here, this film is junk food. Like, you're going to enjoy it, but you're not going to leave it feeling anything. Like, there's no emotional attachment here. I didn't think anything after it. Like, you're going to forget it. Like, you enjoy it, you're never going to think about this movie again. So overall, though, it's not bad. And it's not great. So it's a total meh type of movie. And I guess that's disappointing in the sense of how much money they put into it. But I'm happy that it's not a total failure and that I did enjoy it overall. So I'm excited to see what you guys think about it. I'm going to give this one a 7.4. Let me know what you thought when you see the film down below. It's actually out in select theaters, so let me know if maybe you've already seen it. And if you plan on watching it, I love to hear all your thoughts. I read every comment. I try to respond to as many as I can. Please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss one of my reviews. I got Dexter review coming up tomorrow, so I can't wait about that. I'm going to be reviewing every episode of that. I'm also doing The Wheel of Time, and I'll be doing more movie reviews. I do celebrity interviews as well, and if you really like what I do here, I'd really appreciate if you sign up for a membership to get exclusive perks. It'll help me do this full time one day so I can give you guys more reviews. And please follow me at Steve Varley Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for more of me. It helps me in so many ways you have no idea. And I'll see you next time.